I know the new book Thunder has already come out, but I am 16th on the hold list for my book at the library, so I've been thinking about Warrior Cats a lot. Last night, I went through my head and tried to figure out who Squirrelflight's new deputy would be, assuming she even makes it to the moon pool, and yes, I do think it is very likely she will die. But if all goes well, here's who I think will be Squirrelflight's new deputy. At the end of the video, I'll state who I want to be the deputy, even though it might be unrealistic. Alright, firstly, here's a list of all the cats in ThunderClan that are eligible for the deputy position, also assuming that Squirrelflight will abide by the warrior code. Whitewing, Birchfall, Mousewhisker, Poppyfrost, Lilyheart, Bumblestripe, Cherryfall, Molewhisker, Cinderheart, Blossomfall, Ivypool, Eaglewing, Dewnose, Hollytuft, Sparkpelt, Twigbranch, Finleaf, Finleap, Leafshade, and Lineblaze. So basically, Spotfur is not on here because she is a queen, and none of the elders are on here. So no Cloudtail, no Brightheart, and then Jayfeather and Elderheart, obviously they're Medicine Cats, they also can't do it. I also removed all the cats that haven't had apprentices like Stormcloud. So now I'm gonna remove all the cats that I think are least likely to become deputy. So obviously Mousewhisker, Leafshade, Eaglewing, and Hollytuft. If we're gonna be honest, they're probably not gonna get the role because, I mean, do we ever even hear Hollytuft or Eaglewing speak in the books? So here's the list we have left now. Whitewing, Birchfall, Poppyfrost, Lilyheart, Bumblestripe, Cherryfall, Molewhisker, Cinderheart, Blossomfall, Ivypool, Dewnose, Sparkpelt, Twigbranch, Finleap, and Lineblaze. For the rest of the cats, I think will become deputy, I'm going to use Firestar's logic in choosing his deputy. So if we're going back to the beginning of the series, Firestar wanted to choose Greystripe, and he did eventually choose Greystripe after Whitestorm died. But he didn't choose him in the beginning because he knew the rest of the clan wouldn't like it because he'd just come back from River Clan after being with his kids and then getting exiled and whatever happened. So he chose the next closest cat he had to him, and that was Whitestorm. He knew Whitestorm would be able to give him advice as he started his leadership, because also Firestar was pretty young when he became leader. Squirrelflight's pretty old, though, so she does have more experience, but I think she'd still like it if she had someone older than her to guide her, even though she is one of the oldest warriors in the clan. The next cat I think won't be able to take the position is Finleap. Finleap isn't even comfortable with having kids. We had this whole dramatic thing in A Vision of Shadows where Twigbranch was so sad that she couldn't have kids because Finleap didn't want kids. But if Finleap doesn't even want kids, I don't think he's gonna want to take care of a whole clan. He's just like our shy little boy, you know? So the next cat is a bit of a stretch, but I think it makes sense. Sparkpelt. Like, I want Sparkpelt to become deputy, but she's literally Squirrelflight's daughter, and I don't think that Squirrelflight, for at least her first deputy, would want her own daughter, because the rest of the clan already sees nepotism in the leadership positions, and she's also dealing with, like, Nightheart and all that drama, too. Next is Dewnose. Dewnose was fine, but he's not that young, but he's a lot younger than Squirrelflight, and I think she would want to choose someone she knows better than Dewnose, and she would want to choose a stronger warrior than just this background character who we rarely hear from. Next character is Poppyfrost, Lilyheart, Bumblestripe, Cherryfall, and Molewhisker. I put all these guys together because they're not the background characters like Eaglewing or Hollytuft, but all of them have one thing in common. They don't have a close relationship with Squirrelflight. We don't really see them, eating prey with her or whatever. And I noticed when I was going through this, I noticed not many of the cats actually do have a very close relationship with Squirrelflight. I think it's mostly been like Bramblestar and Lionblaze that have been her closest friends. But yeah, Poppyfrost, Lilyheart, Bumblestripe, I personally just don't want Bumblestripe to become leader or deputy because he's Bumblestripe. We don't want that. Then Cherry Fall, Mole Whisker. They're all just, background characters. They're not necessarily strong warriors. I think Poppy Frost is a pretty strong warrior though, but they're not very close to Squirrelflight. I don't think Squirrelflight, those would be her top decisions. Lastly, for the least likely cats is Birchfall. In the least likely cats category, I think Birchfall is the most likely to become deputy. But I think the reason is because Squirrelflight and White Wing are the last ThunderClan warriors to remember the Old Forest. I think that connection would be good for Squirrelflight, but Birchfall and Squirrelflight just aren't that close. Okay, so the next cats that I'm about to list are the ones who I think have a very high chance of becoming deputy. Basically, just everyone I just talked about, I removed them from the original list. So we only have 6 of them. White Wing, Cinderheart, Blossomfall, Ivypool, Twig Branch, and Lionblaze. I think all these cats are amazing candidates, but there is one that would make the most sense. The 3 least likely to be chose would be Blossomfall, Cinderheart, and Twig Branch. I think Squirrelflight doesn't have a close relationship with Blossomfall. Twig Branch doesn't have the right experience qualities, and Cinderheart isn't as close with Squirrelflight as she is with the remaining 3 cats. The top 3 candidates would be Ivypool, White Wing, and Lionblaze. Ivypool has a good relationship with Squirrelflight, and she's just in general a strong and respected warrior, and I'm basing a lot of how I think Squirrelflight's leadership will go based off of the Broken Code leadership when she was acting as leader. I know a lot of cats didn't necessarily respect her very much. I think Ivypool will get her some respect. White Wing is the oldest warrior in ThunderClan, and I think she'd be able to provide Squirrelflight with the experience and respect she needs to back up her new leadership. Like I said, same reasons. Even if her relationship with her isn't as close as Lionblaze, who's the most likely candidate for deputy. Lionblaze was chosen as deputy when Squirrelflight was acting leader in the Broken Code, and he has a relationship with her where she's almost her son. And I think Lionblaze is, out of the 3, Hollyleaf, Jayfeather, and Lionblaze, he was the most forgiving to Squirrelflight. Maybe it was Hollyleaf, but we didn't really get to see that since she died earlier on. And then she was basically just gone for a lot of the time too. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think many of us want to see Lionblaze as deputy, and I don't. But the only reason he wouldn't be chosen is because she didn't like her past experience with him as deputy, or she just didn't want to show nepotism. So that is the most likely candidate, Lionblaze. I think he'd make a pretty good deputy, and I think he almost has the same dynamic as Bramblestar and Squirrelflight did. As shown in Squirrelflight's Hope, Squirrelflight was willing to disobey Bramblestar in order to do what she really believed was right. I think Lionblaze definitely has that kind of character to do the same, and it would help keep her in check. Since she already has experience with Bramblestar having ideas and beliefs not considered, I think it's likely that she will be more open to others' ideas. Now, who do I personally want to be deputy? White Wing. I think her being the oldest warrior will also allow Squirrelflight to gain some more respect, since when she was acting leader, respect was lacking. I also just like White Wing, so there's a bias. She's also old, so I do expect her to retire or die soon. And when she does, I want Cinderheart to be deputy. Let more she-cats be in power as well. Well, if any of you made it this far into the video, you'll see I've been drawing Tiger Star the First. You can take a closer look at any of my drawings on DeviantArt, which I will link down in the description. And thanks for staying, and subscribe.